All right, hey everybody that's checking in. How you doing this evening? Hope I find you all well. Just thought I'd pop on, do an hour, maybe two, and see what's going on in the world and see what's going on with my fellow reefers. I am Craig. This is Live with Reefer Madness on a lazy Sunday coffee and chat. So how you guys doing? And hey, I Reef. I already said that, but hey, again. I'm sure we'll get a few more people in here at some point. We normally do. Not everybody gets their notifications from me for some reason. So yeah. So how's your reefing going, iReef? Hopefully, we were talking about Pally's again there the other day, me and some friends. Um, Not too bad. Feel a little better. Was pretty under the weather there today, so those crews. So I doubt we'll see him, but we might. You never know. He'll get his notification. If he's not too busy, then we might see him. But I got a feeling we won't. So I know he's quite tied up at the moment. No pun intended. Haha. So we might get a few of the late nighters over in the UK, and if you're from the UK and you're watching me right now, hey mate. Yeah, I decided to. Like I told you, it's not as big a deal as you think. In fact, if you look at my screen right now, on the bottom, on the rock, you can see some of those nuclear green pallies, right? So I deal with them all the time. I like them, but there's a healthy dose of respect when it comes to Paleothoa. So yeah, I think there's a lot more hysteria and panic over it than need. No, you can't do it like that. That's a bad idea. Yeah. Hello, Tina. I hope that's a big loud Craig because I'm on and not because something went tragically wrong. I really hope that. Yeah. Here, Tina. You found out what's killing your corals. Did you find something? Well, get on in here. Get on in here. And if that doesn't work, I'll send you a link. Let's get her in here. Okay, it's coming here. 2 secs. Go. That is emailed. You should get that shortly, Tina. And you can get in here and you can tell us what's going on. The suspense. Anticipation. Do, do, ba-do, ba-do. Anticipation. Oh, dating myself. Let's just make a song Anticipation out of Infatuation by Rod Stewart, shall we? Hmm. I'm having just the weirdest day. I'll tell you. My F1 race went really well, though. My boy Lewis Hamilton won. And just some really interesting things happened. Spanish Grand Prix is normally pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. You can join in if you want, iReef. I love that one of our politicians here in Canada, Catherine McKenna, who's, I believe, related to Frank McKenna, it's his daughter, I do believe, got asked about the carbon tax they're going to try to bring in here. That is literally the most unpopular thing going. Acted like a child over being questioned on it. And it's like, you have to be questioned on it. You're talking about taxing us some more. You know, I live in one of the highest taxed countries in the world. You know, I pay for my carbon footprint. Piss off. Yeah, gas is now what, $1.30 a liter. So if you do that to a gallon, give or take, gas is almost $4 a gallon now. Like, come on. You know, they have stupid rules on the CITES list. They have just, oh, yeah, I got no respect for my politicians currently. I don't think I ever really did. So yeah, so Tina, did you get it yet, or do I gotta fire it off again? Because sometimes it takes two. I'll fire it off again just to be safe here. Fired it off at you. Let's see if we can get you in here. Is the link not working for you, Reef? Inquiring minds want to know. It'll get there. We'll get a few more people on the go, I'm sure, as well in the meantime. Yeah, I'm sure you want to vocally talk about this, Tina, and that is all right. I'll give it to Matthew McConaughey from Days Confused. All right, all right, all right. There we go.
Hey.
How are you? So what is going on? What did you find out?
I sent Cruz a nice little video.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I did all my cleaning and stuff on that on my tank today, and there's a hole in one of my rocks that Melissa thought a bunch of the hermit crabs had gotten stuck in.
Okay.
So, you know, I've been having problems with my euphyllias being, well, now I know they're being chomped on or whatever. I know what's going on.
What did you find?
A big ass crab.
Yeah, you got a gorilla crab.
Yep, it's either a gorilla or a pebble crab, and it's the same kind that I found that was as big as my hand at my LFS. This thing's not as big. It's about 2 inches, maybe 3.
Yep.
But that sucker is huge, and it's ugly, and it's freaking me to flip out.
Yeah. Anytime you get a hitchhiker like that, I do. Wife does. Wife goes, dances and jiggles and runs out of the room.
Oh my God.
And basically throws Yeah, go ahead.
Talking to Melanie, and I'm just like, how in the F am I supposed to get this thing out of here? And then I started looking it up, and then somebody from my LFS sent me a jar trick. So I'm going to try that tonight. Yep. I'm hoping I get it the F out of there because it's being forcefully evicted.
That's pretty much it.
Just put my hand in the tank.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, and the thing is that don't handle them. Because they're like most crabs, they have a really good, strong pinch.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking about using because I can get to it, but I think I'm still going to need Mousie's help because I'll show you in a minute. Right now I'm having a smoke, trying to calm down. Every time it moves, I freak out.
Reef, she found a gorilla crab or pebble crab. And did you actually catch them in the act?
No, but now that I'm seeing it in there, I'm thinking that that's what it is because that's what was killing off the corals at my local fish store as well.
Was one of them.
Ever since they got it out, all their corals and that have been just fine. So that is just because like I said, I've never once seen my coral beauty nip at anything.
Exactly. You would hope not, right? I mean, they can. But generally, if they're being a good citizen, they usually stay that way for a long time.
Yeah, I hope. I hope this is the answer anyways. It's freaked me too.
I bet. So.
But when I realized what it was, my heart jumped up into my throat and I told my husband, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah, it's never fun, right?
Chest pains.
Yeah, Dax, the aggressive clownfish, is no longer in the 20. She is in the sump on the 20.
Well, good. Let's hope I can catch my pest now, too, and throw it in the sump.
Yeah, and chuck him in the sump. Yep, because he's not getting out of there. Right? He's got to go through an impeller to get up, so that's where he stays. Oh. Hey, what's going on, Al?
I was thinking I might be able to use a hemostat because, like I said, the hole's not super deep.
Right.
But Mousy would have to be here to help block his exit.
Yes.
Because there is a way he can get out of there.
Yeah. So you kind of what I did for the fella I helped out that had a gorilla crab is I've got a pair of those rubber tipped long tweezers that you buy for doing reptiles, right?
Yeah.
And I just reached in and grabbed them and pulled them out. I didn't really care, right? Just grab them. There we go.
And that's what I'm thinking I can do, but I have to have her help probably to
corral them.
It's either that or I'm going to get a stupid jar.
Yeah, or get the jar.
And put a little scallop in the bottom of it.
Yep, get them to come out. Tease them out with food. Remember, the fish are going to hit it too. But if you use a small enough bottle, so you look at the size of him, figure out the size. Like the one I used to love was the Fruitopia bottles, Snapple. Right, used to use them because the fish.
No, he's about 2 to 3 inches, dude.
Oh, he's
a shot glass, ain't he? Wikipedia or whatever, wherever I found that one, told me to use a shot glass. I'm like, yeah,
he's
right.
bigger than that. So you got a good size crap. Worst part is if he gets it in his head to eat a fish, right? So wrasses would have a hard time with him too because he'll sneak along at night and he'll grab him up, right? So
yeah, I now I know why my snails are dying.
Yeah, he's eating your snail. He's eating whatever he can get his hands on. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crabs. It's just a crab. It could be worse. Wait till you see a spider eating zoanthid. Or, sorry, zoanthid eating spider. Right?
No, I don't like spiders either.
Yeah, they're hard to spot, but if you do spot them, it is a huge problem. Because they lay their eggs in the zoanthid too. So you end up having to strip out all your zoanthids, which now we know that's problematic. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people end up, you nuke your tank. Right? All the rock, everything comes out. And you gotta literally scrub your tank down and then start over.
Yeah, now see, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, I do not want to have to be pulling all these rocks out of this thing, but I don't think I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. Well, you got a bunch of zoanthids you don't want in your tank, Lawrence?
Yeah. All I can say is flipping hell.
Well, it's kind of the way it goes. At least you found it. At least you found it. So did you just kind of, can you see him?
Yeah, I can see him. I'm going to see if I can flip this around to where...
Yeah, I'll put you on present. We'll let everybody see him.
Might need to get a flashlight. That big hole down there, that's where he's at.
He's in there, is he?
Yep. Let me see if I can...
Oh. Yeah, remember to hold it still, though, eh?
Yeah, I'm trying. Trying to get the right angle at it.
Yeah, Lisa, hers...
There you go. You see that sucker?
No, I can't see him. Where is he?
Straight ahead, in that hole.
No, it's too dark. Yeah, for us on camera.
He's moving around. Ooh. I don't know if I got a flashlight. Let me run upstairs real quick.
Yeah, no, go right ahead. So yeah, Lisa, she's got the same thing, and hers has been eating her coral and her snails, which is what we told you. Yeah. Yeah, I can barely see it, so unfortunately. You're dead. How are you dead? If you're talking to us, tell us what's it like on the other side. Nope. No, I wonder if I can get a hold of somebody here. Yeah, no, he is not. He is indisposed. Okay, so, what's your email address, Reef? Wait a minute, do I have it? Give me a sec here. Maybe I do. I do. Give me a sec. Told you I keep a list because of the intermittent issues with that. How you doing, Melanie? Go.
Okay, guys, found a flashlight. Now I got to change the batteries. Hang on.
All right, rock and roll. Woo! Give it to David Lee Troutman. Woo! Wow! Yeah, there we go. So. And happy Mother's Day to everybody who's a mom. And if you self-identify as a mom, that's your business. So yeah, Melanie, in case you didn't know or didn't hear, Tina has found the person or persons, I'm going to guess this one fella, in her tank that's nobbling on her coral. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, I sent you a link, Reef. You should get it. And if anyone else wants to come in, I left the link in there for now. Move that out. What's going on, Salty Reef? No? And remember, you're on mute, Tina. So I'm going to resize this.
I know. Hang on just a second. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Now I don't know if I should turn the light off and shine this thing in there or just shine it in.
Oh, I'd probably just shine it in. It'll be fine.
All right. Get this bell end out of my damn tank. All right, let me see where to go.
All right, I got that as big as I can get it, so.
Now I gotta get the camera just right.
Yeah, get the camera right for. Oh, yeah, I see him.
Where'd he go? I'm looking in the wrong spot.
Could be right there.
There he is.
Oh, yeah, he is a big one, too.
The FUK.
Yeah.
Ooh, y'all, come on, man. I don't want to be doing this.
Oh, he's just a crab. I'm just a crab.
Dude, he's licking his eyeballs.
Oh, yeah.
But it's freaking me the hell out, man.
You freaky, Mr. Crab. Oh.
Yeah.
Go. So, there you go. Pests in a reef tank.
Ooh,
You don't see it?
moving.
If you look at the hole, phrasing, right in, I can't do it with my mouse in here, can I? No.
He doesn't like that light for sure.
Yeah, do you see that hole right in the middle that she's shining the light directly on? You can see the grayish in the back. That's the crab. That's how big he is. Yeah, it's not going to be as clear because of her camera. Maybe move the camera down a bit, Tina. Try to get more straight on.
Yeah, he's gotten deeper in the hole.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna.
All right, let me see if I can.
Yeah, try taking the light off of it first, and then put the camera down, and then see if you can get it. You gotta come up a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta go underneath.
Yeah,
he's got.
No, he's way in there, but he's in that hole, guys, right in the front there. Yeah. So you got yourself a gorilla crab or a pebble crab. What a nice fella.
No, can you see it now?
Barely, but I can tell he's there. I can see the gray. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not going to be as clear as it could be, but that's all right. Yep, it's all right.
He's trying to hide his eyes. Get out of my tank.
He won't. He's just going to eat your crap. That's what he wants to do.
Y'all, this is...
You really can't see. You got to know what you're looking for, guys, and unfortunately her camera's a little... if she moves at all, it goes blurry really quick.
It keeps trying to readjust.
Refocused. Yeah, you'd have to manually focus it, but you've got, I see those forceps. Is that what I see on the...
Well, I was thinking about using, but I don't know. I'd have to wait until he's up close to where I can grab him.
Yeah. Yeah. Basic idea is if you see him and you get in and just be deliberate. Don't be quick, but be deliberate. Just move right at him, and grab him. Don't even care if you kill him. Remember, you're trying to remove him. You try not to kill him if that's your choice. But yeah, exactly, right? And if not, you get him and he's alive. She has a gorilla or pebble crab.
Melanie asked me what I told her. I had the hemos, and I told her I was going to go after it and pull it out with the hemos. And she goes, "What if you drop it?" I go, "I'm going to run screaming like a girl."
Yeah, don't drop him on the floor. I mean, he's not going to, call him Houdini then, but. So there we go. There, everybody's bloody nightmare right there, right? So now I have to grab that from there again. Of course I do. No, so yeah, if you sent that to, you said you sent Cruz a little video. You said you got a video? Oh, you muted yourself again, Dana. Go. Yeah, basic idea, when you look in the hole there, at one point, you could just make out the grayish colored. It looked a little different from the rock. You're not going to see it very well. I'm pretty sure it is, because unless he's really hairy, they're generally not gorillas. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still a pain in the butt, no matter which way you look at it. So.
Damn, dude,
links up. They're a pain.
Move back to the front again.
Hey, what's going on, Rip? How you doing there, Captain?
No.
There we go. We'll try that again. So if anybody wants to get in and shoot the breeze tonight, please feel free. Reef, I sent you a link. You should get it in short order. I almost want to make more coffee. I sincerely was not expecting a lot of people. I really wasn't. But Cruz will not be getting back to you tonight. Tina? How you doing, DM?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. How you doing, DM?
Is he okay?
He is okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I am not at liberty to discuss it. That's all I'll say. But he is okay. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Which bothers me to no end, because I am actually quite personally close to him. But 1 second. It's like, get out of my lungs, you bastard. Anyway, hence why I like the hot coffee. Yeah. Sorry, guys. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm all right.
And DM's in the house, and I know I got Rip hanging out. Yeah, wait for it to come back in the front. If you can get a good shot of it, Tina, get a good shot of it. Everybody would love to see it. Just because then they can identify it, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing, right? So.
All I know is it's freaking me the hell
out. I love that a crab does it for you. My wife sees a bristleworm, and it's like lighter fluid in the tank, lighter, run. That's what I swear.
I don't give a crap about bristleworms. They don't bother me at all. But man, these crabs scare the shit out of me. Excuse my language.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We're a late night. If you have kids that are listening, be warned. It is late night. You know, blah blah blah. So DM, DM knows. She is Doretica. She is going to try to catch him at some point, but she needs Mousie's help because she needs to have a blocker. Right, to try and, well, that ain't gonna work. You'll get them. Just, it's gonna take some patience. Remember, don't just jab at the tank. You'll pay for that in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I caught my aggressor today, and she's stupid. And thankfully, that female clown is stupid. So I just put my fingers, no food. She come up to attack me, and I just scoop that quick. Took all of 5 seconds. pulled her out.
Pepper.
Because if you look on the screen now, you can see Odo, a.k.a. my Wyoming White, swimming around happy going, I'm not being attacked. What's going on? And I have not decided what I'm doing. She's in the sump. She's very happy and healthy and doing well. But she had him underneath in the cave on the rock on the right and was beating on him inside where he was hiding. So she was literally mouthing in on him and nailing him really bad. So I couldn't let it go. It's like, nope, you gotta go. You're not killing my $65 Wyoming White. That's just not happening. So, you know, it's what it was.
There's Walter. I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, and now he's been out all day, and I think I know why now.
Yeah,
he was chased out of his hole.
Oh no! Have you seen the pistol shrimp?
No, I haven't.
Hopefully you do. Pistol shrimp are able to defend themselves, but
mine's teensy. Mine's less than an inch long.
Yeah, he may not be big enough to give him a good snap and make him think better of it. He may have just grabbed him. We'll hope for the best on that. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Oh, I kind of see him. There we go. Hold on. Don't do it yet. Wait. I'm gonna see if I can get you front and center here for everybody. There we go. Okay, I've got you on present. And just leave it, because he'll get used to it to a degree.
I'm trying to hold the light back a little bit further, too, to where it's just illuminating the hole.
I can barely see. I can kind of make him out. But just barely.
See his red eyes?
No, it's not translating through. Your camera's not good enough with all the compression. But any better on here?
Are you sure it's not just an emerald crab?
No, it is not an emerald crab. No, I know what those look like. I've had them before. This is definitely a pebble or a gorilla.
Yeah, and it was identified too by your LFS, had the same one, and it was eating their corals.
Catch it. The one with my LFS. Let's see. Count again. Yeah, the one at my LFS. I'm the one that found it, and that sucker was as big as my hand.
Yeah.
It was huge. Measured 6 inches.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had it on mute, bud. That was my son put his block.
Okay. No, it's okay. I'm like, what's somebody building? All right. Yeah.
These two are fighting now. Quick.
Yeah. So let's see.
You guys can see my new corals that I got yesterday too. Then.
No, everything's looking good. Just unfortunately.
And this is why I'm worried. I got to get this sucker out of here.
Well, it's not a rush. It's more of a you got to wait him out. You'll get him. Right, he's going to come out, and the bottle trick does work. You just got to have a big enough bottle to get him to go to the bottle, and a tasty enough morsel of food, which a scallop is. So,
so how's you see those 3 octospawns that are in the back?
Yeah,
I got those 3 yesterday. And lights are going out, so I've got my ambient light on. I got a red A-can.
Yeah.
Then over here, there's 2 little tiny ones there. The one on the left is a little orange frog spawn.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one right in the front is a purple tip hammer.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I want them to die.
Why do you want them to die?
I said I do not want them to die.
Oh, you do not? I'm like, why do you want them to die? Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, why would I want them to die, Craig?
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't make any sense, but all right, explain yourself. Yeah. So, yeah.
Come back out here, you critter.
Oh, he will. You give him a little time. He'll sneak his way out anyway, and you'll get him right out in the open. And if you see him, I would say this. Ignore us, get the forceps, and grab him. Right? You know what I'm saying? And then once you got them, then you can show them to us. Right? Because you can hold them in the forceps and go, look at this little son of a, you know what I mean? And there you go. And then put them in the sump on the rocks or whatever you have in there. Yeah. Just leave him in there, and you can throw a little food in if you want. But he's a detritivore. He'll eat whatever comes through. But where your tank's a little new, you might have to just supplement that a bit, just a little bit. Nothing big, fine. Right? But just
he can live. He can live in that middle section right there, because I don't think he'll be able to get out.
Now I do know.
I hope he can't get out.
he shouldn't get out of there. If he does, again, name him Houdini. So
no. Right now, his name is the fucker.
The fucker.
That gets the hell out of my tank.
Yeah, no, I've heard a few horror stories with that, but yeah, if he doesn't look like an emerald crab to me, the little bit I saw of him, he's definitely something different.
Yeah, he's not green at all. I've had emerald crabs, so I know what they look like, and I'm not afraid of them. But I'm afraid of this guy. No.
Yeah, I have a small baby gorilla crab in my green slimer. He's real tiny. He came in off of a wild colony, but he's young right now, so he's not really doing any harm. So I'm just leaving him, but I could get him out of there if I really wanted to. But until I see him destructing stuff, I'm just gonna leave him be. But I also have tons of acro crabs though, with the black line around their head.
Yepper.
Well, see, and that's the only thing too about with getting live rock, you just do not know what you're bringing in. And I'm telling you right now, I know I didn't buy that crab. I didn't stick that crab in here.
So you don't ever know. But it's amazing how they can make it through transport in like a little crack.
Yep.
No. And I definitely want him the heck out of there.
Well, and you'll get him. I mean, right now we know he's a little destructive. We know where he's going, right? If you know which ones he's going to, you just got to kind of wait him out, right? Mm-hmm. That's the big thing. It's kind of easy to figure out. You don't happen to have a hunter's flashlight or a map reading flashlight, do you? The red one?
What was that?
Do you have a red flashlight?
No.
Next time you're out at Harbor Freight, get yourself a red flashlight, map reading flashlight they call it, because that way when you shine it in the tank with the lights off, guess what? They can't see it.
Yeah, they can't see red.
Yeah, they can't see red, so you can actually pick them up because it's for you to read, so it doesn't screw up your night vision, right?
Okay.
So it'll let you see them, but he can't see it, right? Now I will tell you this: make sure again, determined but not. Don't be panicky and reach in and everything gets knocked over. You stab a fish kind of deal. We kind of like to joke, right? Because that's no joke. I don't want you to do that. But your basic idea is you're going to go in and just grab them. Just don't worry about it. And if you get a leg, by the way, he will drop a leg. He'll think nothing of it. So just let go of the leg and just reach in and grab him again. Yeah, because he can see that light. He's hiding in that bottom left hole, isn't he?
He's in. Hang on, let me see. Use my finger here to. This one right here.
Okay. Yep, he's in the bottom hole right there. Yep. I thought I saw him. Yeah, it's definitely a pebble crab or a gorilla. I couldn't really tell, but yeah, he's in there. And I only saw him for the briefest of seconds. But you can see him, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want him killing anything else in my tank.
So you got to wait him out. That's all the thing is. Hey, and yes, Al, I noticed I'm getting close there. I think I'm at 198 or something. Somebody said. I don't really keep track of that for the most part. I mean, I look. I'm not crazy. I do want to know. Yeah. That'll be the next milestone, 200. Woo! People are enjoying what I'm doing. I got everything's working right. Crossed fingers, knock on wood, all that good stuff. So it's doing what it's doing, and I'm just keep hoping to kind of keep doing stuff that people want to see too. I've got Jack Corey.
I'm leaving the slide on until my daughter gets home.
Yeah.
Because he won't come out of that hole.
No, it'll keep him right there, and that way he doesn't find a new hidey hole, right?
I know how to keep his little butt stayed put. Hopefully.
No.
Go keep him right where he's at.
No, so, well, there you go. Hey, I wound up with something extremely interesting because Tina's got a pest in her tank that she's got to remove. I've been lucky. The only thing I ever had was Astorina stars, and a Harlequin shrimp took care of that in short order. And I've had bristleworms, but I don't really consider them a pest, so. There you go. So yeah, we're all just sort of sitting here on a Sunday night going, bleh. So how's everybody doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good, good.
I'm doing okay. Just trying to calm my blood pressure down.
Yeah.
I gotta go get Miss Mousy, so I will be back. Are you gonna be on after 10?
Oh, I should be on for the next little while, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. She gets out at 10, so by at least 10:30.
There's Reef joining us in the hangout. How you doing, Reef?
That way we can see if we can figure out how to get that little thing out of there.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Ooh, look, my firecracker's open.
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you. Right. Excellent. Nope, hear you just fine. Good level. So yeah, my day's been kind of hectic. I cleaned up my tank. I caught a clown. Needed to be caught because she was being a little bell end. Main tank's looking pretty good.
Guys, I'm going to go ahead and take off, and I'll be back in a little while.
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you then, Tina.
Yep, thanks.
I both love and hate going to Petco.
I think yeah, Petco's a big beef with a lot of people. Yeah.
Hello, what's with the rifle?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So what's going on with Petco?
Yeah.
I was there earlier today, and I was looking at a lot of the fish that they had. And if my tank was set up, I probably would have gotten myself in trouble. But, I mean, I'm looking at some of the corals they had there. That wasn't making me happy at all.
No. They're looking pretty haggard, pretty sorry.
Yeah. They had some zinnias there that were barely pulsing. Some zoas that if I had this with me, it would have been helpful. To see what color, how they lit up, but they were all without any backlighting. They were or blue light to cause it to fluoresce. It was just all brown.
Did they have names for them?
No.
No. So not even identifying them somewhat. Yeah, that's a general Petco thing.
Yeah.
What did you end up buying?
I didn't buy anything.
Anything? Oh, okay.
Yeah, my tank's not set up yet, so.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's that big rack behind them.
They had a juvenile, was it Emperor tank? The one looks like a,
Yeah.
thumbprint.
Yep.
It was about maybe 2 inches long.
Wow. You know how big they get, eh?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the thing is like a Koran, right? A lot of people like that look, that ringed blue, white, black look.
Yeah.
And I do. I think they're gorgeous, right? But he's going to grow up and be a big, basically a blue-shouldered emperor, right? So he's going to have yellow face, blue, blue shoulder, all this other colorations. He's also going to get 18 inches long, if not longer, right? And he's going to be a big, huge fish. And, it's not their job. Now, you would say, some would argue that it is, but they're not there to tell you what you can and can't buy. They're there just to facilitate a sale, right? That's where Petco, and I'll tell you, boy, don't go looking in the dumpster at a Petco.
Yeah, I try to avoid Petco too.
Right, I tell people all the time, don't. You'll just enrage yourself, and you won't look at it objectively. Did you get a Koran, Salty? Oh, they're nice fish, man. They get big too, but they're absolutely stunning Koran angels. Yeah, it's there's a guy who does it all the time, and he saved like 2, I forget what it was, I think it was geckos, right? And he said, I knew they were sick, He goes, but who does that? They're still alive, and and he's right. Never throw at a living animal. That would enrage even me. But it is what it is, right? These kids, they're kids, right? The manager's just doing his job. He's franchised this store. Are they franchised or are they corporate? I can never remember with Petco. I think they're corporate stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're corporate, so they're just following the party line. They have to, or they don't get to run the store anymore. It's that simple. They'll just find someone else to do it. What I don't like is, again, if it's alive, don't throw it out. You know what I mean? That's it. If it's alive, don't do it. That's when I get kind of mad. But if it's died, it's died. It's what are you supposed to do? Leave it floating in the tank? Hey, look at this dead fish. You know what I mean? No, it just goes without saying, right? But what I don't like about them is that they don't really have. I would say 90% of Petco stores don't have trained staff in saltwater. They don't even understand what they're dealing with.
I agree.
I don't personally have to deal with them up here. We have PetSmart. And it's laughable what they have for saltwater up here, which is just not even equipment. I mean, tanks, of course, right? But just the odd bucket of salt, which is super cheap. I wish I had grabbed up those salt when it was on sale. Black Friday, it was like $39 for a 160-gallon bucket of reef crystals, right?
Wow.
Cool. I should have bought it, right? Just because it was there, right? But, and they got epoxy sticks from Fluval and from Two Little Fishies and just little stuff, but they don't really have anything saltwater specific. They're a freshwater, little small, I forget what the term is, but, hamsters, gerbils, guinea pigs. I do love skinny pigs. I don't know why those little hairless guinea pigs make me just go, aw, but they do.
Just a general pet store.
Yeah, they're a general, mostly what they're selling is cat food and dog food.
Right? Sometimes you might find cool corals sometimes. Sometimes they might have a shipment of that good packaging. Like, I remember not too long ago, I was in Petco trying to buy some calcium, and they had a midnight clownfish for $90, that's how much they go for. The manager said he might give it to me for $75, but.
And what was it again? Sorry.
The midnight clownfish.
Oh, at midnight.
Yes, all black.
Now, do you have clownfish in your tank right now?
Yes, I do.
And how many?
I only have 2.
You put them in there. Your mileage may vary.
Yep. No, well, no. I'm just telling the story about.
Okay. Sorry, no, I misunderstood. Yeah.
Yeah, and back to the point, and how Petco sometimes get good items. Like you might find some cool fish in there sometime, rare fish, corals, same thing,
Yep. Oh, if you know what you're looking for, I have a phone call, guys. 2 secs, all right?
All right. And sometimes it's based on location too. Mr. Eddie, where are you located again?
Utah. Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to pull it up.
A long way from my home.
I've never been to Utah in my life.
No, you're not missing much.
I just thought I was cool. I'm trying to pull up the maps. Where is Utah?
North of Arizona, west of Nevada, or east of Nevada, west of Colorado.
Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah. Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho too. Oh, wow. You see, a place like Utah, I would say a little bit, but let's say people that live in Nebraska and they try, you got to look at the map,
Yeah.
People live in Nebraska, they're trying to get a certain corals. I bet you their Petco will be slower or get worse items than a Petco on the outskirts of the map.
Right.
Like in South Carolina, you might find a lot. Anywhere towards the east, New Jersey, and then back to the same side. If it's California, if it's Oregon, Washington. Because the transportation, and then how many people got to handle it before it gets transported to your area. By then, they probably done bought all the good stuff.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple of LFSs that are specifically for saltwater out here that I've been to a couple times. One of them, they pretty much run the beach, surprisingly.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're called Aquatic Dreams.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, it's a frag swap / hey, I'm getting out of the hobby sort of page.
Oh, okay. So they'll kind of like buy your old items or sell you used items. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We got some people, we got people in it who, hey, I'm just setting up a tank. This is what and then others, hey, I'm getting out of the hobby. Anybody got any Kato? Stuff like that.
And this is a local store?
Yeah.
Like it's actual storefront?
There's an actual storefront. I've been to it, I think, one time a couple years ago. I need to go back to it.
Yeah, you could definitely catch some bargains there.
Yeah. And well, like I said, one of the advantages of living in Utah is I get all the fossilized coral that I can pick up.
Yeah.
And I, get basically dry rock and turn it into live rock.
Absolutely. I started with dry rock. I started with 40 pounds of dry rock and 10 pounds of live rock.
Yeah.
And I just want to say something. I don't mean to cut you off, Mr. Eddie. Live rock and cycled rock are two different things.
Yeah.
See, before I had the idea that as long as the rock was wet, it's live, which is kind of correct. There is some truth to it because it is underwater, kept at a certain temperature and is flowing and everything. But however, that's more considered like a cycled rock, which also has some beneficial bacteria. However, a live rock would come out of a already working system.
Yeah.
Already established system. So I just wanted to say that, it's basically a cycled rock is good. It still has good bacteria in it, but compared to an actual rock, let's say I go to DM system and get a 5 pound rocks from his system, his rock is going to be on steroids. It's going to have so many good bacteria. It's going to have so many good things. Oh, so bad if you might have any, but most of the time it's good when it's coming from already good established system. His rock is going to be like steroids to my system. It's just going to boost it up.
Yeah, I'm actually once I get the rock started, I'm gonna cycle the rock in the gray tote that I got it in, and then I'm definitely gonna avoid the Petco rock because that stuff's nothing but green bubble algae.
All right.
But I'll go to Aquatic Dream, pick up at least maybe 5, maybe 10 pounds of their live rock and toss it in the tank too.
Yes.
When it's ready.
Right. Well, I don't know how like your budget is set, but if you could just get live rocks from an established system again, not a cycled rock, which is for those rocks, you're gonna have an amazing start from the jump. The minute you put those rocks, some of the water, oh my God. That's just like almost like moving a tank, basically. You got extension of his rocks. That means anything living in there, it's already in the rocks. It's gonna be handled perfectly. You won't have any problems.
You know what, though? You say that, though, but we just watched somebody who put live rock in their tank, and what she got in her tank, she now has a destructive pest that she has to deal with. This is...
Well, right. Well, I also said that, sometimes you might pick up something bad, but, we were just talking about the concept of an actual live rock compared to a cycled rock or cured rock.
Well, you never get live rock. There's always a die-off. Doesn't matter unless you take it out of someone's tank, which I guess that's what you're talking about, Irie.
Yeah,
pull it out and
exactly.
immediately put it in yours, right?
Exactly.
I subscribe to Dry Rock. That's my personal preference. And
Yes,
a bottle
absolutely.
of Fritzheim 460 or Dr. Tim's One and Only, and put in a couple of clowns and watch your tank like a hawk for about 3-4 days, and that will have cycled that quick. And then basically, if you leave your lights off or you use minimal lighting, you can avoid all the algae issues. You can avoid all the pest issues because of that. But I see where other people are coming from too. And yeah, Salty Reef, I agree. For me, there's just too many risks with live rock. Way too many. Right? If you get bubble algae, you know you put it in your tank if it's dry rock. If you get bubble algae and you had live rock, you have no idea. Right? So that's all I'm saying. But I mean, I can definitely see the benefit, Reef. I so can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not
well, like I was saying,
yeah,
like
go
I was
ahead.
telling him, like a good established clean system. You know, I said that, correct, Eddie?
You did.
I said a good established clean system, then you'll have an amazing success. You know, a lot of people go ahead and get dry rock and, you know, add ammonia or maybe a damsel in there and start a cycle that way. However, it's a slow process, and you will, I'm not trying to say anything, you will pick up something down the line. I don't care what it could be. It could be even a dried rock that came from a shut down system, like the story you was just telling me about.
Yep.
You know, somebody might go in there, have a whole bunch of rock. He took down his system because he had an Aptasia problem and a poly problem, supposedly. Who knows? And then he just those rocks just dry out, and then you come and pick them up for like $2 or even cheaper a pound. You might actually get an issue that way too.
Oh yes, I can actually attest to that. I have seen rock that was pressure washed, muriatic acid. Okay, it had a huge Aptasia outbreak, this rock. So it was pressure washed, dipped in muriatic acid or muriatic, call it what you want, for a day and a half, rinsed off again, and put back into cycle. And when he took it out and put it in the tank, guess what was still on the rock, ladies and gentlemen?
Yep.
Aptasia. So I always tell people, they can get into places. If you're watching an enemy squeeze through a hole that you can't believe it just squeezed through, imagine what a little Aptasia is going to do. You know, he's going to run for it, and you're only going to get the ones on the outside because that stuff does not go as deep as you would like it to go. And if you left it rock and muriatic acid long enough, you don't have rock anymore.
Yeah.
So you can't do that. So
Yeah.
What about
I
you,
also
DM?
heard of people bleaching them.
Yep, you can use bleach. You can use whatever you want, really. As long as you clean up the rock after, you're pretty safe. So, what about you, DM? You got an opinion on rock?
Yeah, I like real live rock, but dry. So in other words, I had Picani in my tank, but it was all like white. You know what I mean? It wasn't wet. It wasn't in a tank, and I put that in my system. I didn't use any live rock, like cured live rock, but my stuff was or is live rock that I just did what you were saying. Put Dr. Tim's bacteria in there, let that stuff run through, and then after time, it'll become live rock because it was live rock at one time, so it's very porous. I use Picani, so I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind real live rock, but there's just way too many hitchhikers, too many problems. You know what I mean?
Exactly, but you know what? And that's it. Hey, how you doing, Cruz?
Hey, Craigers.
What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man.
Tina's gonna be so mad at me. I said Cruz probably won't be on tonight. Yeah, no. Guess who shows up? Cruz. So Tina, you're allowed to kill me.
She'll be fine.
No, but she's definitely got a. I only got a glimpse of him, and I told her, I said, look, don't panic, don't go digging at the rock, don't go crazy, right? Just wait him out. He'll come out, and then deliberately reach in and pluck him out with a pair of forceps or tweezers. I said, get him out of there. He's definitely the culprit, because I guess at our local fish store they had one, and he was a big one. He was a good 6 inches. So that leads me to think Pebble. But it could still be a gorilla crab too, because I know some of them get big.
Oh,
But,
absolutely.
yeah.
Or you could always take some. You could always take some epoxy and shove it in the hole.
Yeah, glue him in. He ain't getting out of that. Yeah,
or
yeah.
or you can get something that eats gorilla crabs.
You mean like a monk seal?
Yeah, monk seals. Yeah, they're
A seal.
yeah. You're dealing with those crabs. They're kind of the
What?
or an octopus. I think actually.
This is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think that video you see of the octopus that jumps out of the water there in Australia, grabs a crab and goes in the other pool. That was a gorilla crab. That was a full-grown gorilla crab. Yeah,
Oh, so they're pretty big.
oh, they get big.
Wonder how they taste.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never eaten gorilla crab, and I don't think I'd bother. But because most crabs are actually garbage meat anyway. But
True.
yeah,
But
really.
it's not like a lobster or anything.
Well, I don't like lobster. That's sacrilege where I live. It's like
The gorilla crabs.
Yeah.
Oh, they look cool.
yeah, they
I'm
eat
watching Naked and Afraid
naked and afraid.
on Discovery. Yeah, on Discovery.
What a silly show.
These guys are.
And
I know.
those things you call lobsters down there in the around Florida, they don't have claws. They're not lobsters. They're prawns.
They're prawn, yeah. You could argue that. I mean, technically, I think it's a spiny lobster.
Yeah, we call them spiny lobsters.
They're spiny lobsters, yeah. But we're talking about good old Maine / New Brunswick Bay of Fundy Grand Bank lobster, man. Oh, you broke up. You went Mr. Roboto there, buddy.
Heaven in a shell.
Not a fan. Love mussels, though. Yeah, mussels and clam and all that. I mean, that's just it. And again, I'll stand in front of my tank and go, this could be you. So, I don't know if it's working, but I'm trying, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Cruz, you missed my... I caught my my aggressive clown. Decided today she was going to beat on him while he was hiding. So she wasn't... He was trapped. Face first, trapped. Right?
Oh,
and
wow.
she was just whooping on him, right? So I got in there and broke it up, just got her distracted. And I said, she's got to come out. And I'm going, what am I going to do? And I was thinking I'm going to go buy a tank or something. And I went, I got a 20-gallon sump with 15 gallons of water in it down there.
Yep.
So I put my fingers in. No food. She's just so incensed on attacking me. I just scoop that quick. Threw her in the sump. Now she's down there, and you can almost see her going, what happened? It's like, well, Dorothy.
Yeah, what the hell happened?
Yeah, what happened to me, right? Well, you see, Dorothy. Yeah. But yeah, man, how you feeling? You gonna make it? You living? I know you're under the weather.
Yeah, something.
Good.
Don't go like that.
So Eddie, you thought about you said you don't have a tank yet. You thinking about a size? Which size you trying to get?
Well, I have a 75-gallon that I'm going to be, using.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to decide if I want to go 44 for the
40-gallon breeder for a sump?
or get another 75 for a sump. I'm leaning more towards the other 75.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Wait, so you'll have a 75 display and then 75 on the sump?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty large.
it would give you a lot of
That's
options.
actually good. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's really good.
And that's what I'm looking for is options.
A 1400, or it won't be 1400, but around 1,000-gallon system. Oh, wait a minute, 100-gallon system? I'm bugging.
150. So it's going to be somewhere in the vicinity. Depends on how high he makes his baffles.
He's got some magic math.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
kidding.
No,
I'm gonna start off with the 75-gallon, and I'm gonna have 1,000-gallon system.
Yeah, no. Listen, I'm reading something right now, and it's about the 600-gallon system. And then earlier I was watching Rico with 1,000-gallon system. So I got carried away to that. But
No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, it's like somebody saying a 300-gallon system or a display tank is a 650-gallon system. I don't see how that's possible.
no.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's not.
When you say if I have a 600-gallon system, that's the DT only. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not the peripherals.
Of course.
It's the display tank because that's what matters. That's what everybody sees.
Of course.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, like if I had a 1,200 gallon display tank, I'd say it's a 1,200 gallon display tank. I don't count my sump.
Right.
Unless it's Alex G, because he
but
does
the
actually
total
have display
volume, But
sumps.
the total
So-
volume.
Yes,
And
when you
it's-
say a total volume, but yeah, that I understand. But when you say I have a 1,200 gallon Reef tank, that's the display tank itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And even if you're going by the total volume of each tank you have, you're gonna still run because it's gonna be lower than that.
Absolutely, because
you
your sump
the
area
rocks and sand and
exactly.
that bit, and your sump is not gonna be filled to 100. Of
Yep.
course not. You know, let's say you're gonna get a 75 gallon sump. You're probably gonna have about 50,
about
anywhere between 50. I said down to 40.
Yep.
Like I know my
water.
40-gallon sump is only 20 gallons of water. So
Yeah. See, iReef gets it.
Oh yeah, no. I definitely get it. You know, that's why I say bigger is better because less things can go wrong.
Oh,
You know,
but the
but-
caveat is this too: the bigger, the more problems that you could run into that you'd have to spend a lot more money to fix. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree. Like, God forbid something go wrong in your tank. Something dies in all the way in the back. You can't see it. Now everything is cloudy. You need to go for a big water change. Like if you have a big system, 50% of 100 is 50 gallons. Are you really? You're gonna have to change 50 gallons.
Yep.
So that's the bad thing about kind of having a big system. Unlike
You're going to need Jim Stymie level water containers, man. If you've ever watched LA Fish Guys when he had the big water containers that was leaking, I miss him.
Yeah, in 1,000 gallon system, you have to change 500.
Think about it. Exactly.
It's like, holy crap. Yeah, they go, oh, bigger, better, but you have to know. I would say know what you're doing. I would say know what you're doing first.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. But then keep in mind, something is gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm back to the club.
Oh,
it just happened. Every system. Listen, there is no perfect system that started out, magical, boom, and then now it's a big, nice, flourished, booming system. That anybody that tells you that's a flat out liar. You're gonna go through this.
You got it. Yeah, what you're doing is you're trading size. And went, holy shit, that looks bad. What are you doing in here, man?
Yeah.
And they look at you funny, like, what do you mean? And you're like, I got a 20 that looks. Well, look at my 20. You know what I mean? Like,
it's really, really nice.
You know what I mean?
Colorful,
right?
Yeah, like you got a lot of fucking green in here, man. And that's not coral. Like, what the hell, man? You need a lawnmower and a weed whacker at this point. You know what I mean? Like, and now dealing with that is now infinitely bigger to deal with, right? And like, Salty, I agree. Bigger system, more forgiveness. But unfortunately, when things horribly go wrong, holy crap. So unless you're like, and DM dropped off, hopefully you can still hear me there, but his system, like, it just looks fantastic, right? And why? He puts the time and the effort, and he really, really, really keeps at it. If you are a lazy reefer and you think having a bigger tank is going to solve your issues with being lazy, no, they're just going to amplify the problem. Okay?
Yeah, no.
You're going to have a friggin' jungle.
Yeah. And then another thing too about a bigger system is keeping the temperature.
Yeah, temperature's an issue. There's a few other like
little 40 gallon, 20 gallon. You could keep the temperature stable for a long time.
The hard thing for a large
when
system.
100 gallons get cold. It gets cold. You gotta have to heat it up somehow.
Go ahead, Cruz.
Exactly. The hardest part though is the oxygenation in a deep tank. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, well, you need more flow." Yeah. imagine a friggin', 1,000-gallon friggin' system that you go with. Imagine how much quote unquote flow you would need. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You need a lot.
Yeah, costs are exponential.
The PetSmart near me, there's a 150 deep that I want. I'd turn that thing, my 75 into the sump for that in a heartbeat.
How much they want for it?
Well, it comes with this crappy stand and a couple other things. It's like just under 800.
Oh my! Do you know how much a 120-gallon reef ready tank? Is it reef ready? No, I bet you it's not. Or is it?
Yeah, reef readies are around $800 to $900.
Yeah.
So just an extra $100 and you're ready.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't get a crappy stand with it.
Yeah, that you can then use for kindling. So, but the trick to it is like up here in Canada, I'm not kidding. A 120 reef ready tank will cost you about $1,200.
Yep.
Oh, and they don't deliver them. You can't get it delivered, right? Nobody wants to touch them because they're glass, right? So you're always stuck. You got it, so you got to go up and get it yourself. Now, I have access to a truck. If I wanted to go get a tank somewhere, I could go get it. And I was laughing with my old man's going, that would be the most hectic drive. He says, you drove from Fredericton to St. John with me. His truck was brand new. It was 3 days old. I was the first, load that we put in the truck, right? And he was laughing because I literally would not let him out of my sight the entire time. Right? We had it strapped down with come-alongs. We had it sitting on blankets. The tank itself, right? We had it. Anyway, I was, me. I'm mental, right? I don't want it to break. And it's only 45 minutes. And we made it take an hour and 20 minutes because we drove slower. Right? It was hilarious to watch me. I was, he said, "Can you imagine driving back from Toronto, you idiot? It would take you forever." He goes, "And you wouldn't sleep if you stopped somewhere to sleep because you'd be worried about your tank. Someone's going to steal it." I'm like, "Well, they might. They might run off with it. You never know." That'd be the funniest thing you ever saw, though, right? You imagine two idiots trying to carry a big tank, like a 300-gallon tank. Get the visual in your head.
At 2 in the morning.
My work truck is one that has a power lift on the back.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
It's box van, refrigerated even.
Oh, there you go.
Even better.
How I got that stand home.
Yeah.
Great.
Now, I got to ask, what's that stand for? Because I'm looking at it, and it looks like, I swear to God, like bunk beds.
No, it's meant for holding pallets of groceries on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Warehouse stand.
So you're going to use this for your tank, right?
Yeah.
And are you going to, what are you going to do, brace it and put plywood on top type deal?
Yeah, well, I'm going to brace it, plywood it, getting some 3/4 inch plywood to put over some 2x4.
Nice.
And then build a cabinet around it.
Yeah.
That's going to look good, man. I'm not a fan of the rails and all that, but I bet you there's so much you could do with that. You have so many options open to you. Size, tank, too. You could put a 150
drop the rail down.
Yep.
You could drop the rail down, right?
You could adjust the entire thing. Yeah.
All right, and just build around it, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, you could pop self-tap and screw straight into the beams and the upright. The same type of racking Home Depot uses.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have worked with many of those when I worked for them for a year.
Yeah. Oh, I got to turn the old Jeeves up. So how's Jeeves doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. You've been wondering about that. It had to be work. I figured as much.
Oh, yeah, it's just work.
How's the tanks doing?
No, they're doing good. A little bit of green algae on the 75 because I haven't been cleaning it, but other than that, good.
Excellent. Good to hear.
Last clown goby, that other clown goby's hanging in there. He's doing good. Got to figure out. I still haven't that dosing container.
Yep, come in.
Yeah.
Yep.
You will. I mean, that's just it, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow, so I'll get to do that tomorrow.
Excellent.
I still got it soaking with carbon in there.
All right.
Excellent.
Trying to get the chemical out of there.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah.
So
I'll tell you.
Hopefully this will cure that problem, and I'll be able to just keep going with the API. Because I don't think it was the chemical. I think it was the dosing container that was the issue.
It could have been. It could have been, right? You know, we were talking about that, you know, once you carbon it out and clean it out, you know, you can basically leave it and then test it again. And just to see if you're getting anything off of it, right? But you probably shouldn't. I can't see it. You know, once you've, you know, kind of really cleansed the system, so to speak. What dosing pump are you using? Jabo or Coral Box?
Yeah.
Or Jabo.
Yeah, it's a J-Valve dosing pump.
Nothing wrong with them. Same as Coral Box, same as all the other cheapos. They're pretty much all Jabo.
Yeah, it works fine. I'm using the little 3-chamber dosing container you can get off of Amazon. Red Starfish.
Oh yes, yeah, I know which one you're
That's
talking
what
about.
it is. Yep, and that's what it is. It's had a real strong chemical odor to it.
That's really strange, right? But then again, if it's extruded versus cell cast, if it's cell cast, it would have that smell, and where it's not holding a lot of pressure, I bet you it's because it's cell cast.
Well, when you go read the reviews, there's a lot of good reviews, and then there's 3 or 4 bad reviews, and the 3 or 4 bad reviews, 1 stars, are all the same thing. Strong.
Yeah, you can smell the resin.
Strong chemical odor.
Yeah, the chemical resins they use to actually make it. Yeah, and that's the thing. You think they'd make it out of extruded? It would have been cheaper, but it probably costs more in the long run cutting it all up and putting it together versus casting it in place, right? Yeah, weird. So yeah.
Sorry, had to answer the radio.
No, it's all right, man. You're at work.
Is wearing me out today.
Yeah, I bet you it is. The rear's a dragon, is it?
Oh yeah, it's foreign crew. They barely speak English.
Yeah.
They want to ask me a question every 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, that was quite entertaining.
So what are they carrying that they're so worried about?
It's not the cargo, it's the crew that they're worried about.
Ah, yes, okay.
The crew is all out of Bangladesh and the Middle East.
Gotcha. So their concern is hijacking the cargo itself.
I guess.
I guess. Or stealing parts of the ship. I've heard about that before too, so.
I don't know. Well, they're only, apparently, because I was talking with the 2 security guys, they only got on board when they got in the Gulf, when they got in U.S. waters.
Right. Huh.
So,
interesting. Yeah, it's got to be something to do with security overall, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm looking at my screen, noticing that my firecracker, after being glued in place, is now out and ready for food. I should probably tell the wife to thaw some mysis, and then I'll gut load the mysis with some little bit of reeferoids, or I'm not sure, zooplankton or reeferoids. I'd like the sun corals next to them to come out, but they're all pissed because I touched them.
Wait. Craig, did you just say you're going to gut load frozen shrimp?
Yeah, kind of. What else would you call it?
Dusting?
Dust it? Dust it. There we go. I'm going to dust it. Pardonnez-moi, s'il vous plaît.
I say, how do you gut load a dead shrimp?
With a needle. I actually have a hypodermic needle I got from the doctor, too, for doing, what do you call it?
I can see you
Aptasia? That was funny.
Yeah.
What do you need that for? Heroin? And he just looked at me, right? I said, I'm kidding. I have a reef tank. Right? You cannot... It is Canada. Yeah, you know. That guy just looked at me funny, like, for at least a good 5 minutes, like, really unsure of it. I'm like... I literally held up my arms in front of him. Went, do you see any tracks? I opened my fingers. I said, I could open my toes if you want. I'll open my butt crack if you want. You know, I want to meet the heroin addict that adamant of hiding it, that he injects himself in his own butt crack. How would you even find the vein? Yeah, there you go. There's a visual for you, folks. You're welcome. I'm here all week.
Well, luckily for me, my old lady, she's a CNA, so I can get a bunch of medical equipment that I can use for the reef tank.
Yep. You want the nitro gloves without the powder. Let's see, what else?
I've got about 3 cases of those already.
Do you? Dosing pump, if you can get them, peristaltic pumps. right? You can clean them out. You can do them yourself if you want to program them yourself.
That would be the ultimate find for medical equipment, because those are like the $800-900 a head pumps.
Yipper.
And they are perfect metering, and they almost never break.
Yep. But you got to. You'd have to. Sorry, go ahead, Eddie. Well,
I'll see if she can get some.
Yeah, just what you want to do is get to know the coworker that works on the stuff and says, well, I've got 3 here that are taken out that are no longer in use, right? And they're off by, and when we say they're off not on the amount we're worried about, right? So the basic idea is you would then build yourself a case, right? And find yourself a buddy that can do a little Raspberry Pi setup for you. And it will do, I think a Raspberry Pi, it's infinite. But connection-wise, you'd have to play.
Pi?
It's like a little mini computer that you buy, right? It's like a little tiny computer. And you basically would build your own pump, your own
Reef
controller.
Spy was doing that, wasn't it?
Which one?
Reef Spy?
Reef Spy does it. Yep, Reef Spy's got one. There's a few that I know. There's another one, too. Yavo does that kind of stuff. Cruise does occasionally. Yada, yada, yada. Right? You know what I mean? I can even do it too. But you'd have to get it.
Probably share with the programming with you.
Yeah, he would share the programming, how to do it. Yeah. They're simple to work on, right? It's just building your connections. You got to be very, very careful. But once you have it all done, you'd have your own pump setup. You could actually have your own display and have it wireless, and you literally would just control it. So he'd help you write the software that we just done. So
now I regret leaving the job at the hospital.
Well, you know what? Don't get caught.
Canada there.
Yeah, I was telling a buddy of mine, I got a peristaltic pump here that I'm not going to use because it's actually 3 mil hosing on it. So it's a large peristaltic. It's chemical peristaltic pump, and it works. It's great, but it doesn't have a metered motor. It's called. It's just a constant rate motor. So I can't get it to slow down. And I'm like, no, I'm not using that. Well, you only turn it on for 2 minutes. Yeah, what happens when it doesn't shut off? Well, I'm like, yeah, that's okay. So I got it here somewhere. I don't know. But I got it for free, but it's an $800 pump. Yeah. Right? And I'm like, well, I'm not throwing it away. That's just foolish. You never know. I might find a use for it. But it's still too slow to use as an auto top-off. It would be a constant drip, and I don't want to get into that either. I have a auto top off, works just fine, thank you. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
it would be a good calculator pump to run on a timer.
Yeah, I could put it on a timer and just it's on and it's off because it wouldn't be too fast. Yeah, you're right. It would be good for that. It would be. Yeah, that would work. So.
Timer. See what you know how they actually a lot of hospitals do those.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was talking with my cousin. He's a corpsman, lab tech corpsman, and at Walter Reed. And anytime they get new peristaltic pumps, those kind of things, those dosing pumps, they don't just change the broken ones. They change every one of them in the hospital.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they do it. He said, like every year or two, he said they'll order 10,000 of them. And they'll pull every one of them out of the hospital, even if they're brand new in packages in the storeroom.
Oh, they do.
Throw them away, sell them off. It's military, so they scrap the used ones, and the new ones they sell secondhand.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Or they donate to public hospitals.
Correct. Public hospitals, clinics, things like that.
Well, I don't want no public hospital using that stuff. Wait a minute.
Oh, you do.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's brand new. It's in the package. It's
all
used.
it is, they'll sign a contract with another supplier.
Oh, I thought you said
the military.
The used ones.
Well, but you got to understand, a used one is they unwrapped it and installed it on a machine, and the machine has sat in the lobby or in the hallway and has never been used. You know. They just installed it 2 weeks ago. The tubing is the only thing that would matter in that case.
Yep.
But it's just a pump sitting there on a unit.
Yeah, but even with that, I would like to use that for myself, you know?
Yeah.
As far as having it in a public place.
Oh yeah, that's what he's trying to work on, is getting some of the for destruction ones whenever they get rid of their next batch.
Actually,
Absolutely.
you guys just clued me in. I remember I got a family member that does lab and tech equipment for hospitals. Like, why am I not utilizing
get my phlebotomy license renewed.
Your what?
Yeah.
Lobotomy? Ah, there you go.
Phlebotomy.
Y'all have to explain, Eddie.
He draws blood. Yeah, he draws blood. Okay, yeah. I know.
He got in trouble the other day because he was running using their lab equipment to run tests on his reef tank. He's the shift supervisor for the military people, though, because Walter Reed has civilian and military employees, and he's the lab tech shift supervisor. And so, that's what he said. He said what was he running? He was running it on a what's the spinny centrifuge. Just playing around, not really particularly testing anything, just trying to see what he could test differently, above hobbyist grade tests with that kind of equipment. It was a little frowned upon.
Well,
using $1 million, testing equipment for a reef tank.
I mean, I wouldn't consider him a criminal.
No. I mean, he didn't get any real trouble. He just,
maybe he's not supposed to be doing that over there.
Yeah, he just got to don't do it again.
Yeah, little employee correction.
Yeah.
No, the proper military term would be an ass chewing.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but he's got a nice little reef tank. He's got a nano, but it's a custom size little nano. It's pretty cool. It's like 36 by 10 by 10. If that's too loud, y'all just let me know. But yeah. So where did you get that racking from? Did you buy it or did you get it second hand?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Unlucky, can you hear me?
Yeah, just sorry. You were very, very quiet. I wasn't sure who you talked to.
Oh, yeah, I was asking you, where did you get that racking from?
I acquired it from work.
Okay. Yeah, because I worked at the Home Depot on one of their net teams, their overnight reset teams, for about a year after I got laid off from Schlumberger. And, that's all we did was reset bays.
Yeah, what they were doing was they were taking this one out and replacing it with another one. And they were going to basically throw it away. So in the back of my vehicle it went.
Yep. Good stuff.
That stuff's sturdy, too. That'll hold a couple 1,000 pounds.
This one's rated for 1,600.
1,600 per shelf or 1,600 total?
Per shelf.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, but he's still gonna wrap it up with wood, like 2x4s maybe, right?
Yeah, but what you do is you run 2x6. Yeah. Is that what you do? You work for a hardware store or store?
I work at the Pentagon.
Okay.
It's
do the beams have the grooves in them to put boards across?
Yeah, there's a notch just past underneath here.
Yeah. So what you do is you lay, Home Depot calls them stickers. I don't know why instead of runners. I call them runners. You lay your runners across, and that'll support the load of a tank. You just got to make sure that the beam's not going to bow out.
Yeah.
So what you can do then is put one on the bottom and pop a self-tap through it.
Unfortunately,
so you would do like,
this one is too short.
Oh, you was just gonna wrap it up with metal?
No, that's why it's a support beam for going across a slightly smaller but taller system that we had at work. A little bit more narrow.
You'd run your stickers front to back. You'd pop a 1x4 on the bottom, probably, I'd say dead center, and then 1/4 3/4. You know, do 2x6 stickers, and then you put a sheet of plywood across all of it, and pop you a self-tap on each corner, and it'll lock that down where that tank will never move that thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like I said, I was thinking 2x4, but I'll go with you said what, 2x6?
2x6s. It should be. What's the width on that?
Front to back,
side to side, left to right.
Side to side is just under 6 feet.
So under 72. The outside of the support should be right at 6 feet then, right? To end on that beam?
Yeah.
Okay. So it should be whatever. It should be like 9 2x6s and 1 2x4 will create a solid deck all the way across.
Oh yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
With no gaps.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
you put your plywood on it and then a sheet of foam. Okay. All right. So what you do, you put 2 on the very bottom. You put 2 at whatever height you want for the tank, and you put 2 at the top. And then what you would do is just get you plywood or MDF or whatever you want. And the way I would do it is I would basically cut out the tank, and then you can either make clips, or screw it straight in, where you would just put a sheet with like a window cut out for the tank and screw it straight up to it. And so it would cover all of the beams and the uprights. Since it's 6 foot, you would go, I would go an extra 3/4 or 1/2 inch on each side. And then you could even do 1/2 inch on the sides if you wanted. So you'd cut it 73. And then if you went all 1/2 inch plywood, because you don't need any load bearing, so you get away with 1/2 inch.
Okay.
1/2 inch on the sides, you can pop self taps. 6 self taps will hold the whole sheet up. If you do like number 10 self tappers.
Okay.
Then the only thing is you got to figure out how you're going to hide the self tap, or you figure out you could actually just put screws and hang it in the grooves. It would hang it in the T-slots, and then the whole panel would just lift up and pull off if you needed to remove it.
Yeah. Well, I do want to be able to remove it so that at least the bottom section, so I could work in the sump.
So what I would do then is just use a larger hex head screw, maybe go 3/4 on the face, where you can get that in there, and you just let the hex head hook in that T-slot. You follow? Cut your window out so you'd have a window the exact size of your refugium if you want to see the refugium.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going display or not, or if you just want that covered.
Pretty much want it covered. That way I can, when I'm sitting here, at night when the lights go off, I'm gaming. I don't want backlit.
Right. Okay. Well then, yeah. I mean, you could just go solid board and make it, pull off on the front, either with some kind of clip or, like I said, just use a hex head, or you could just screw straight to it and then make doors over it. Those are some options. But with that racking, you should be able to screw straight into it with a self tap. A good number 8 or number 10 will hold it down on there.
Yeah. And there's a lot of possibilities with this system, this shelf.
I never thought about using that stuff from a tank, but that's just like Mike using scaffolding. You know, Aaron's aquariums, that's what his big tank is on, is scaffolding.
Yeah, that's what got me thinking about using this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And before I put water in the system, I'm definitely gonna, any area that I see needs a touch up of paint, well, I'm definitely gonna paint it over so keep the corrosion down.
Yeah. And that's what you're definitely gonna want, is just throw them on the back. You know, on the back down. I don't know if you're gonna black the tank out, but you could throw one split in each of those. You have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and you'd have enough to put 2 extras on the back, and it just gives it extra rigidity. Because if you ever, next time you're in a Home Depot, look, if there's extras, they're just stuck on the back. And if it's on a heavy load-bearing bay, a lot of those instructions we would get will require an extra one on the back in the middle, because it just steadies up the racking.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, and I do have access to a lot more of these cross braces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the more you have across one way, your lateral is all you would worry, front to back. So as long as your lateral is strong, that's the big ones. Lateral movement you got to watch out for. So look at that.
As long as you have 6 minimum, that won't shift though. That kind of racking won't.
It shouldn't.
Because we used to build those low boys and put flooring on them. That's just a 4-foot, and that's what you would do, is you would leave the front open, you would run a top beam front and back to make a shelf. Then we would have to put a middle beam on the back and a bottom beam on the back. And you could put 3 pallets of flooring on the shelf, and then you'd put 3 pallets of flooring on the bottom if it was a flooring low boy display. And I mean, you figure a pallet of tile is a ton, 6,000 pounds. It's a little bit heavier racking, but still. And that's the way that they would brace it to support weight.
Yeah, that'd be the equivalent weight of what you're looking for. So, yeah. You know what I mean? Like a 75-gallon tank, if you want to get into it, I guess it would be, let's see here, 75 times.
Just figure 750 pounds.
Yeah, and then, 625, give or take with the rock, you're looking at around 700 pounds total.
Yeah.
Plus your sump, so probably add another 100 pounds.
Yeah, but it's 1,600 pounds per shelf.
Yeah, so you're not even going to come close to beating the tolerance that the shelf can actually hold.
No.
Even when I put the QT tank on the shelf.
No, you're never going to come close. Nick, how you doing?
Oh, of course, Nick's going to jump in and chime in on this.
Oh yeah. I heard you talking about building stands and tanks. Of course he shows up.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Not bad. How's Nick doing today?
I'm good. I've been building some stands on my own all week, so yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
What we got? What are we doing? What kind of stand are we doing?
It's the one behind Eddie.
Behind Unlucky.
Here, I'll show it. Present up.
Unlucky's?
Yep. See that pallet racking behind him?
Oh yeah, the lock-in stuff, right?
Yep.
He's talking about putting a 75 on it, which is actually, you can see it there. And what, a QT, a 20-gallon or 30-gallon QT? What are you thinking?
Yeah, 20.
20? Yeah. You're never going to exceed that stand.
No, you're fine with that. We use that stuff for when we were distributing for Innovative Marine in the UK, and we stacked a load of tanks on that stuff. So yeah, that's going to be fine. A lot of people over-engineer the stands, which is kind of weird because they use like 4B2s and shit like that, like 2B2s and stuff, and it's like massive overkill. So.
Nope.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And like I was telling Jeeves there, I'm going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb and paint any area where it definitely needs it. So I have to worry less about corrosion on it.
Right.
You know, the other thing you could do too is get yourself, I want to say Formica, because that's what they used to call it, but you know, the laminate for counters. And when you actually build your top, you know, that you're going to sit on the tank on, you could actually put a piece of that on top of that, glue it down, and then that would actually be waterproof. Right now, you're not going to be able to do what Nick would do with the edge binding, you know, sealing the edges, but you could sand it well enough and seal it yourself against most water intrusion. And man, you know, the board itself would never be at risk for the most part.
Yeah.
Unless, Nick, do you have a better idea?
No, I think you're on about like the vinyl wraps, right? That you're going to roll. You take off the adhesive off the back.
Yeah, he could wrap the edges and then actually glue Formica or countertop, you know what I mean, the thin stuff, the laminate, and glue that right down to the board. Yep.
I mean, even if you go and get a roll of the adhesive stuff, that'll make it waterproof anyway. So it'd be a lot easier than bonding it'd be easier than bonding a lamp. I mean, you can do, but I think that'd be easier for you to apply.
Or I could just go get some Pondom and whatnot.
Yep. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, what else you could use? There's other stuff you can use, but generally the more waterproof it is, you can get like resin impregnated boards and stuff like that, but that stuff works out expensive for what you're using it for. So yeah, I just do that. Just seal it. Use some old worktop or something.
And I don't know if Eddie's familiar with you. Eddie, do you know who Nick is? Aquarium Cabinet Solutions? You ever seen him talking before?
I've seen him in a couple of streams, but I'm not even sure I followed him.
I'm a really humble guy, so I'm the quiet one.
He's the quiet one. Until you get him talking, then you can't get him shut up.
I know what you're talking about because, believe it or not, I'm the same way.
There you go.
You find something I'm passionate about, and you can't shut me up about it.
Yeah.
What tank is it that you've got, Eddie? What tank is that? Is it a branded tank or homemade one? Or?
It's just an Aquarium.
An Aquarium. I saw this. I don't know if you guys have seen this. The new Aqua L, and they've used. They're claiming that it's the first laminated aquarium. I mean, we've used laminated glass on big, like 12-foot systems. We tend to laminate that, but it's only a small cube. And the guy was demonstrating. I saw it on a Facebook video, I think, and the guy was demonstrating by hitting it with a hammer. But when I say hitting it, it was very cautiously tapping it. Yeah. And then on the last go, he hit it a little bit too hard, and it actually smashed the glass. But the water didn't come out because it was laminated. So I don't know whether he intended to break it. But the video suddenly stopped, so I'm guessing he didn't. So it was kind of weird. It was like tapping it with his hammer very cautiously, and it wasn't doing anything. And then he just went a little bit too hard, and the whole thing just smashed.
Did he have his? Did he have the look on his face, hand caught in the cookie jar, like, you know?
I don't know, because the video just stopped, so it was kind of weird. But I don't get the point, because if say you use, on that size cube, if you use an 8mm or a 10mm glass, if you've laminated 2 4mm sheets together to get 8mm, the glass is only as strong as 4mm. It's just that there's 2 of them. So somebody in the comments was saying, "Oh, I might get one of these because I always manage to chip the edge of my tank." And I'm thinking, but it's still glass.
Still glass. Still going to
chip, right?
That's not going anywhere.
Yeah, so I don't know whether they were doing it as a demonstration of strength or what. I don't know. I mean, the only benefit I can see of the lamination is that, if it cracks, if one sheet cracks, it's not going to leak because you've got that plastic bonding in the middle. But
right.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a weird.
I have a secondary question for that.
Understand it. Uh-huh.
For the guy that I always chip my corners, what the hell are you doing with your tank?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I must be honest. When we do installs, I put either a folded piece of cardboard or a towel over the edge of the glass as we're lifting in the aquascape, because sod's law is you're going to catch it with a piece of rock.
Yeah, always.
And it's usually the big, like 10, 15 footers or something like that you're going to do it on as well, not the tiny ones. But yes, we protect the edge. Another tip, if you want one, is when we do the aquascape, we line the inside of the glass with cardboard or like I call it foam board, that what they use for making signs out of, exterior signage. And it's like a corrugated plastic sheeting, so it's like cardboard but plastic.
Oh, plastic.
We call it foam board too.
Foam board, right? So yeah, I get a thin, it's only like 5 or 6 mil. It's not expensive stuff, and I line the inside of the glass with that. So if you're doing your aquascape and a rock tumbles,
American hand mills.
3/16.
3/16.
3/16. Yeah.
That understood.
But I line the inside of the glass, the tank, with that when I do the aquascape. Then if a rock does take a tumble and it hits, it's going to hit that rather than the glass itself. So.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you try to, Eddie was talking about that today, and he was talking about using, those plastic cutting boards, the little tincture point in the glass.
Oh, you mean underneath the aquascape?
Underneath the aquascape, yeah. And then on sand on top.
Yeah, we used to do that.
The stuff I've got is a 1/4 inch.
Right. I'll be honest, I've moved away from doing that now because I find that if it's like egg crate, it ends up being a bit of a nitrate trap because any snails and stuff, they can't get inside of the little squares.
Nope, this stuff's straight on, flat, perfectly flat.
Oh, it's just flat. like a foam board type stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So all it would do is prevent the rock from hitting a pressure point, so to speak. And pulling a Tom and cracking his. I gotta have a talk with Tom. You don't fill tanks on concrete.
I'll be honest though, I've never had a cracked base doing the aquascapes.
Yeah, I haven't, but I have.
I've
seen it. I've never, and I've only seen. I haven't seen it in person. I've only seen videos of. But you could tell they put the rock in too vigorously. They were being too quick, and they dropped it, and that caused that doink, and then away it went. Right.
And this tank's got a tempered bottom, so.
Okay, so it's going to shatter instead of crack, right?
Yeah. But I'll tell you, if you got 600 pounds of water in it, that is then going to turn into gush. It's not going to take long. So.
Oh man.
But I think you got a good idea, Eddie. I think that's like 3 people that backed you up that it should be fine. Go ahead. Go ahead, Reef.
I just want to tell something to Eddie before I forget. I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
You gotta also look at the factor of how much everything is gonna cost you.
Yeah.
If getting all this lumber and all this screws and all this extra enchilada is gonna cost you about $100, and you could get a brand new, nice, decent looking one for $120. That's $20 worth of your time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't want to cut you guys off earlier.
No, and that's just it. That's a good. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. When we're spitballing away, that's the kind of stuff we should be talking about, right? Here's all your options.
And then Reef Chief started talking about, I think he said 18 2x4s. He lost me after that. I was like, oh, good God.
Oh, he was talking about overdoing it, though. He's talking about taking it.
What I'm talking about is the way that those rackings are designed to hold weight. You run 2x4s front to back or 2x6s.
Oh yeah, if you don't want to brace it.
So how much is it gonna cost them? in at the
4 2x6s and 1 2x4?
Well, no, like the whole.
Well, what do you need the 2x4s for?
Because this is
just
the shelves feet across, widthwise.
Say that again, sorry?
So it's just under 6 feet from here to there.
Ooh, sorry, what are you doing?
Okay,
I don't understand what
you're
doing.
Hold on. Everybody stop.
What are you doing with the 2x4s?
So he's going to go left to right with 2x4s, front to back. So left to
Are
right.
you not using the metal struts?
No. You go front to back in between the struts because there's no shelf. It's hollow.
Yeah.
Look at above that 75 that's sitting there. You see how it's hollow front to back?
Oh, so the tank is narrower than the frame?
Yes.
So he's gonna have 4 parallel lines on top.
Right. I don't know if you need 2x4s, I'll be honest, because
that racking is specifically designed for a 2x4.
Yeah, he definitely needs something in the middle there.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be 2x4 because are you going to screw through the racking into the wood?
Eddie?
Like, are you going to put the 2x4 between the metal horizontals and then screw into the metal horizontals through?
You really don't need to because they'll slip in right here.
Yeah,
so it's designed for a 2x4 to slot into the back of it. Is that what?
Yes, or a 2x6.
I got you. Right, so you might as well just get the 2-inch that fit directly into the.
Yeah, that's an 1.5-inch groove. Which
right,
is a 2B.
I got you.
Yeah, and then like the way we used to do them, if it's because it's going to be for show, you would put the 2x6s, and that's what I was saying. It's like 7 or 9 2x6s, and then 1 2x4 makes a solid deck with no gaps. Then you come back and put a sheet of ply over the top of that from metal front to metal back. And it gives you a nice, perfect, smooth surface. And then the 2x take the weight load.
The only thing with that, though, what's the actual distance from the front to the back, then, compared to your tank? Because
the front to back is 4 feet.
Right, and is that the tank that you have to put on it?
Yeah.
Right. The only other thing I'd say is, if the wood's 2 inches thick, you might still get some bowing in it, depending on how thick the top panel is that you're going to sit on top of that. Anything over 650 mil, and I'm sorry, I don't know what the inches on that is, you generally will get bowing. That's why on all of the cabinets that we do, when you go above 650 mil, you need to put a vertical support on the front of the cabinet.
25 inches.
25 inches, yeah. So anything over 25 inches, potentially you're going to get a bow on the span. Can you get... The only exception to the rule with that is using a piece of, rather than wood, use
all the wood, the steel, the screws. How much all the stuff is going to cost you?
Oh, steel's cheap.
Yeah,
I don't know over there, but steel's cheap.
Well, with the wood and everything, if you come anywhere near $100, I think, in my opinion, you're better off buying a nice stand. It can be used, but it's still going to be a whole lot easier, cheaper, safer.
I don't know whether it'll be safer. I think that's going to be pretty sturdy as it is, but you've got a lot more room on that than you have with a lot more flexibility than you have with a chrome cabinet.
The problem also is that if he's going 75 over 75, there are no built stands for that.
I can give you a design,
he said 6 feet.
Eddie, for a stand if you want to build your own.
Feet, so it's,
of course you can.
Yeah, it's easy to do, right?
His stand is 6 feet, so he can hold like 125 gallons, 72 inches long, right?
It's just under 6 feet.
Yeah.
It would have to be a custom built at, 57.5? Something like that?
Well, you'd have to measure it.
65.
Yeah, you'd have to measure it and then take a look at the tank and make sure the tank's going to fit left to right.
Well, what's the 6 foot? Is there another tank going on there?
No, there'll be a 20-gallon tank up there for a QT tank.
Oh, okay. So you got another tank as well to go on?
I will be having.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But even if that's behind the 75, which I could do feasibly, and have a door on one side to swing open to get to.
Yeah, you got a lot of options. You got a lot of space there. The only thing is you got to remember I said lateral load, right? So even if you go front to back with 2x4s, you'd still have to brace the 2x4 underneath so that, like a joist, because like Nick was saying, it could bow under the weight, the boards.
Yeah, you'd still get some bowing in there.
Yeah, and that's what you don't want, right? Because one board slips and then you get the cascade effect and things start to go horribly wrong quickly, right? What do you got there?
Now, if I could find the right length of this, what this is a cross brace for a similar shelving system.
Right. So you put that front to back?
How would that go? Show us where would you put that?
It would go
like that, right? So it's the same thing that he was saying with the 2x4s, right?
Yeah.
And that would be stronger.
If it's an engineered steel, it will give you the load bearing.
Yeah,
so
that's
it'll prevent the sag.
And steel
exactly
do better. You're right.
Yeah, and these are designed to hold pallets without any major cross bracing
They are, but the only thing is the design for pallet size. So generally, a pallet will go front to back.
Right.
Yeah.
Across the metal braces. So there's and also the pallets they won't bow in the middle of the pallet.
Displacement. We're talking about weight displacement.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just doing math in my head now. That would make a really good stand for like a custom size, whatever, 65, 68 inch by 48 inch low boy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You could definitely do a custom.
The whole shelf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you could then put the 2x4s underneath it and actually put a 3/4 inch plywood on top. And if the tank took up the whole thing, you'd never have a problem.
How deep is the other tank that's going on there, Eddie? The 6-footer. How deep is that front to back?
Oh, there's no 6-footer. Reef
was talking about doing that.
The stand when he was talking about the 6-footer.
Ah, gotcha. Another way you could do it.
Spitballing ideas right now.
Yeah.
Well, the other
potential.
Well, the other way you could do it, because we got that same slot racking, right? But we didn't need it that deep front to back. So you see the horizontal bars, you got space in the two sets front to back with the diagonal in there.
Yeah.
What we did was we removed all of that, and then we just put pieces of wood in between to the size we wanted it, and then screwed them through, so that you could reduce the actual depth of that right back to where your tank was just crossing the two beams. And then you could put a piece of wood under that, and then you wouldn't need any bracing either.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah, you would just take out the cross beams, the big diagonal bracing, and actually use wood.
Then you can get actually much smaller wood, because all you're doing is using that as the new frame to hold the spacing front to back. And that doesn't really serve any structural. It's just to hold it in place, if you like. And then you can sit it straight onto the metal.
Yeah.
Your metal horizontals that way. You could just put one top, one bottom, one middle.
Yep. Brace it across 3 ways, and you wouldn't need the big diagonals because you're not spanning so far, right? So,
yeah,
food for thought, Eddie. Food for thought.
And then you can save those, and then if you decide later on you want it that depth front to back, you just take the wood out and screw the wood bits, and then put the metal back in. So don't throw them away; just keep them to one side.
They're welded in, so I'd have to cut them out.
Oh, they're welded in. Normally they just kind of slot down.
These ones are welded.
Oh, that's what a reciprocating saw is for.
Oh.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
Angle grinder.
Angle grinder, yeah.
Well, that's a good thing if there wasn't. They ain't going anywhere.
Oh, tank went dark, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. I was going to say, normally that's all pieced together, so you can just break it all down.
Yeah, no, but you could see on the side as well.
Yeah, you can see it's welded.
So you bought it as one solid structure?
Yeah, my company did.
Ah, right, I got you. Because normally that's the thing about those is all the cross beams are all adjustable, and you can change the heights according to the stock that you've got to put on them, right?
Well, these ones are adjustable.
Okay, just the diagonals. They're not.
They're welded in.
Oh, they're made as a single end cap.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, we ours were the bigger than that. They were like big orange, heavy duty ones. So they're all just come as 4 posts, and then you just build everything up.
Yeah, the other size we had was 18 footers that even my buddy ended up with a couple of them, and he had to cut them in half to get them onto his truck.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could still do what Nick was talking about, right? Still cut out the bracing.
Yeah.
And actually, if you know a welder, you could actually cut it and re-weld it to the size that you want, if you want to keep it permanent, and brace that, from here to hell. I mean, that thing would never ever move.
You save a lot of space as well, front to back, because you're basically shrinking that frame all the way back down to the size of your tank, so you can gain a lot of space.
Yep. And then you can run your piping behind it, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of options when you do that. Yeah. But I mean, again, it's more work, but you have the majority of the material right there. So, I wish I was there. I actually know about 5-6 welders that could go, yeah, I got that. You want me to do it right now? I need an angle grinder and I need a plug, and they do it for you in minutes. Well, hours, but you know what I mean.
Unfortunately, the one guy I know who welds, he sold all his welding stuff, and he's planning on moving to Thailand.
Oh, there you go.
Thailand.
Let's not go into why he's moving to Thailand.
Right.
No, his wife's from Thailand.
Oh, okay. It's not the ridiculously low age of consent?
No.
Okay.
Was that Thailand?
What happens in Thailand sometimes follows you home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's one of those things, right?
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's going to be the same in Vegas when I go to MACNA.
Oh, I don't know. I'm actually. Everyone's talking about fundraising me into that.
I still can't go.
You still can't go? Why not? Oh my God, Eddie, it'd be great if we had you in Vegas.
Yeah, I would love it. But me and Vegas don't get along.
Ah, is there a story there?
Gambling?
Yeah, I try to beat the odds, but never do.
Oh, well, yeah. I'd keep you away from that. It's all like hookers and blow.
I got a cousin I can crash at down in Vegas.
We have time to kill between now and then, and to figure out a plan of attack, so to speak.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, listen, guys, we've hit 2 hours, which is my general rule of thumb. We've only got a few people in here. Nick, I do got to talk to you, actually. So,
yeah, no worries.
Now that really worked out. So when I cut her down, just hang out there for a few minutes. But to everyone else, thank you so much for coming along. Thanks for all the thumbs up. I'll be on tomorrow, I'm sure. I generally try to do 2 hours every day, and my health is starting to feel a little better. So,
good.
Hopefully, well, it was a hell of a run of the flu, boy. I think I sweated the last bit out today. It was 18 degrees Celsius here today, so for a Canadian, that's hot. So, it's like I said to a friend of mine. I walked outside and went, "Oh, well, I'm turning on the air conditioning in the car." So, and I'm not kidding.
It was only 90.
Yeah, shush. Anyway, all right, you crazy taters. I will see you all later, all right? Thanks for coming.
I'll take it easy now.
Later, boys.
I'll catch up with you again, Eddie, and see your progress on that. I'll be interested to see what you do with it.
For sure.
Yeah, it's going to take a little while before I get into it. Building it, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and thanks for coming, Reef. And Eddie, thanks. Always love having you in here, buddy. I do.
Take it easy.
You for sure. Take care. And everybody else, later, taters.